talk. So this is Oracle of Seasons any percent. Basically beating the game as fast as you can. Nothing really exciting happens at this beginning part. It's pretty much a go around, say hello to everybody in the party, and then the party's crashed by the evil Onyx. So, once you talk to everybody in the party, you go and talk to Din, and you dance with her, and then she says, "Oh, hey, I feel there's something evil going on right now," and then Onyx comes down, and Wahaha steals Din, captures her in a crystal, sinks the Temple of Seasons, and turns the seasons of the world to terribleness. And then Link has to go and save the world by collecting the 8 essences of nature to revitalize the Maku tree to fight Onyx and save Din. That is a quick and dirty rundown of the game story. But there's Onyx there. I always like to imagine when he's doing his tornado thing, he's spinning on his head like a top, because it's kind of shaped like an invert, like a triangle, so when you're tornado, you're sort of a spinning triangle. Now we see that Link has landed in the grass in the northern part of Horan. Well, not really, but north of Horan Village. Impa talks to him and says that he has to go save Holodrum. And so now we're going to go. Fun fact about this is that Horan Village, where we were just in, actually has a random season every time you enter, and that plays an important role when they get back into Horan Village after getting the sword from Hero's Cave. Right now they're going to walk through here. They're going to try and stay so that they're optimizing their movement but not falling into holes, and sometimes that can be really tricky, but they both get through. Now, oh, JC got hit by the mini gel. That sucks. And, so they do a save and quit there, which is, you hit start and select to go to the save and quit menu, and then you go down 1 to, save and continue, and then hit AB start select to do a soft reset. It saves a little bit of time over going all the way down to, save and quit. The gel's just not liking JC that much today. So now we're going to come back out and wreak havoc with the sword. And Herreteman comes in and he gets spring, not winter, and that's good. And JC gets summer, also not winter, good. The reason why they don't want winter is because in winter, a snow pile forms on the screen where Herreteman just walked through, and you cannot walk through that area. And it adds 2 screen transitions, and it's very long, and it's just not fun. So, now they come to wake up a sleeping tree. It makes total sense. And they want to make sure to press B to say no to the tree, so that he does not tell them the entire story again. And then they get the gnarled root key, which will open a keyhole in a rock to raise up a tree to enter and fight a dragon. This game has such great things. Bosses, dungeons, everything. It's very interesting when you break it down. It's slightly faster to hold your sword out and then hit that bush while your sword's out. So, Herreteman entering Dungeon 1. This is Dungeon 1. It's this first dungeon especially, but the whole game also has a lot of callbacks to Zelda 1. That first room, and Herreteman comes, kills the Sulfos, grabs the key. There's not much to say. But yeah, originally this was going to be a remake of Zelda 1, and then they sort of scrapped that idea. And so you see a lot of callbacks to Zelda 1, with all the bosses being remakes of Zelda 1 bosses. Also, Herreteman killing a lot of enemies here because he's going to be doing the power ring manip, and it looks like that JC is not going for that because he's opting not to kill all those enemies. Minecarts are amazingly slow in this game, and just very not fun. They improved that in Minish Cap, but right now we just gotta suck it up and deal with the slow-moving minecarts. One thing that both JC and Herreteman have to make sure is that they have to keep their hearts above a heart and a half, because they'll be doing damage boosts, and if they lose too much health, they'll have to skip one or two or all of them. Oh, getting hit by the bomb. It's always not fun when that happens. Same thing to JC, not a fun time. And now there is a cool quick kill. We'll see if either Herreteman or JC gets it. Herreteman's not going to get it. Ideally what you want to do is hit the blue Gojira with the bomb twice, and then you only have to do 4 hits on the Gojira to kill it. So neither got it, but they both got it pretty quickly. You both saw both JC and Herreteman there open their menu immediately while they came down into the basement, and that was to skip the whole fading transition there. You can't do anything for a good little bit while going through a fading transition, but you can press start, and when you press start and then close your menu, you can start moving immediately, so that's a slight time save there. The Moblins being very kind to Herreteman, and JC also getting it well. Now you will see both JC and Herreteman do a hard reset. This is to set up an RNG manip. It's going to start out the same, but it's going to go different. Herreteman messed it up. He got it, but then he was supposed to listen for the high-pitched sword slash, but it sounded like he missed. I heard him go past it. JC here going to press down to make that Wallmaster spawn out of his way. Wallmasters aren't like any other enemies. They spawn ahead of where you're walking, and so you can use that to manipulate where they're going to spawn. JC manipulating Aquamentus there so that he does not do the charge, which costs about 10 seconds. Herreteman missing the manip and getting a charge off Aquamentus. So you get to see that really slow attack, and it's very unfortunate that Herreteman missed it. But JC got the first essence, and Herreteman coming not too far behind. That double reset and the charge really hurt. Now JC's going down, and here this season is manipulated because JC's on manip. Herreteman is going to be off manip, so he's not going to have that luxury. It doesn't matter, but one of the seasons you want to get, you want it to not be winter, because you're going to have to come through and stop down by the Ember Sea tree to set up a warp for later. And he didn't get winter this time, so that's good. Which means that the season, when he comes back after Dungeon 2, won't matter. And this is Rosa. Rosa is going to play hide-and-seek for a bit with us. The manip that JC is doing requires you to burn the signs on the Rosa screens to get 10 rupees, and also manipulates her so she goes on her fast pattern for each screen. Then she has 2 patterns per screen, one's faster than the other. Alright, I'm going to try it, but I'm not going to get it. And he's going to burn this other sign to get 5 more rupees as soon as he stops talking to it. Yay! That was a chatty little sign. Herreteman's still getting good patterns with Rosa, so that's nice. Fortunately, he will not be able to get the automatic 10 rupees, but he already has 8, so it's not that bad. And another good Bless RNG, because he gets the fast pattern all 3 times. Now JC is in Subrosia, and he's going to go to the Temple of Seasons that fell underground and is surrounded by lava, or as I like to call it, boiling marinara sauce, because why not? Technically, in an intended playthrough of the game, you're supposed to go to the left after coming out of the portal, play Subversion Dancing to get the boomerang, to hit a switch to get up to the Tower of Winter and get the Season of Winter. We don't need to do that because we got bombs. So, they're going to skip that. And it's great because Subversion Dancing is terrible. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise, it is awful. JC just getting the Rod of Seasons. He's now going to go down to the Tower of Winter to get Winter so that he can change the season on top of a stump. The Rod of Seasons works like you swing it when you're on a stump and it'll change the season. Right now it doesn't have any of the powers of the seasons, so he's going up to get Winter. And they'll get more as the game progresses. Quick notes about things that roll RNG. Sword slashes, digging things, enemy movement, well, like enemy turns and some enemies, enemy spawns. And then also that press start screen that you saw there, that rolls RNG every frame. Also, screen transitions roll RNG, so that's another thing. Now JC's just going to go through. Since he did a soft reset there, he saved and quit and then did a soft reset. That does not reset the RNG like a hard reset does. So he's going, when he comes out, JC's going to reset, make sure that he's on the right RNG value by slashing his sword a bunch and listening for a certain pattern. Yep, he got it. He needed 3 mid-pitch slashes, and he got it. Although he put his rod on B, so it's going to be slightly more tight than if he put his rod on A. But rod on B is always the way to go, and, like, it's wrong if you choose otherwise. I'm sorry, that's just the rules. So, now, since JC's still on Manip, all of the enemies on Moblin Road, as we call it, are going to be manipulated so that they don't get in his way. Before Manip, this was awful, because ideally, and JC's off Manip because he swung his rod a bit too early. Ideally, you don't want to equip your sword here, because it wastes time in a menu, but the enemies can be absolutely brutal to you, and Herreteman getting nice enemies, actually. JC, not such luck. Those moblins are not being kind to him. Also, you saw Herreteman's swing his rod as soon as he shoveled. That's a shovel cancel. Since the rod animation is faster than the shovel animation, you can do that to more quickly exit shoveling. Mystery seeds are important for only one part of the game, and then they're absolutely useless. And now we're in Dungeon 2. Ideally, you would keep the minute going all the way to the power bracelet room in Dungeon 2 so that you could kill both moblins with a bomb, but that's not going to happen for either of the people today. Although JC might try and reset, see if he can get the RNG pattern. We'll see if he tries it or not. And if he does, I'll be like, yeah. No, he's not going for it, he's just going straight. Okay. We'll see if the moblins cooperate. It looks like they very well might. Oh, so close. But not close enough. Also, JC needs 6 bombs. So he has enough. Maybe he just really wants to try and get another. I understand that missing a bomb in there would pretty much heck that up for you. So now you exit the dungeon and then go up and go to a different part, to the bomb room, which is where you have a chest that is timed, and you need 6 bombs to get through it. Ideally, the runners will throw their bombs so that they don't get hit and they can walk through the bombs. JC not doing that for the 3rd one. Herreteman also not doing it for the 3rd one. It's really not too difficult, but there are times where you can get roughed up by it. You don't have enough bombs, or you just move too slowly, and then boom, you have to redo it. And then if you have less than 6 bombs, you have to go all the way through here, and then to the next room after this room to get a mandatory bomb drop to get enough bombs to try it again. There is a Deku Scrub who sells bombs for 30 rupees, which you won't have at this point. You could, if you're really lucky, but likely for most people they won't. Coming through here, JC's going through the basement. Those mini thwomps are really adorable. They've got like little eyes and they think they're so tough. That chest right in the room where JC is used to be a chest that runners would get if they were less than 10 rupees. But I don't think either runner will really have to go for it. Herreteman might. He's going for it! Yep, that is the 10 rupee chest, where if you weren't lucky enough to get the drops from enemies, then you get it there. Now, this mini-boss, there is a glitch on the Japanese version of the game only, where the hitbox for the boss exists before the fight starts. So you just throw 5 bombs, casually, Fasade's dead, you know? Horribly difficult fight right there. So scary, we don't even spawn him, unless it's at the end to, like, you know, tease him. Stick our tongue out and be like, nah, 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 you can't catch me. Both runners teasing Facade. I have never felt more proud. Going down and then bombing the wall with the Pulse Voice in it, just so that they don't have to go through and attempt to kill the Pulse Voice to open the door that closes behind them, because it's really annoying and Pulse Voice are terrible. Now that he's got the boss key, he will be going down to fight the boss of the dungeon. Ooh, almost falling into the pit. That would have been just not a fun time. Green platforms and pits are not fun. They are really not your friends in this game. Dodongo! So, Dodongo's really hungry, and he wants food. So, the runners are going to feed him bombs. Then he gets bloated. So they're going to put him on spikes to alleviate the pressure. The first 2 hits are pretty easy. You throw a bomb in when he opens his mouth, and then you pick him up and throw him on the spikes. For the next 2, he'll charge, so you want to make sure that he rams the wall closest to him, so that you can alleviate the time that he spent charging. JC getting a really nice Dodongo, and grabbing the second Essence Gift of Time. Herreteman about to finish Dodongo. With Dodongo, you want to make sure if you miss, you only miss once, because then he won't charge for his next mouth opening. But if you miss twice, then he will charge 3 times, and it's really not fun. Also, JC going for another manip here. This is a level 2 Heart Ring manip, so we're going to see him do that. Might have been... Oh wait, no, actually. Okay, got the slashes right. So you slash until you hear 3 high-pitched slashes, then 2 high-pitched slashes, and then you come out. While Maple is flying around and slash 4 times, and then you will bump into Maple and she'll drop a ring, and you'll pick it up with your rod, and that is the level 2 heart ring that JC is going to go appraise at Vasu. It costs some time, but it's very helpful because it makes sure so the runner never has to worry about health again in the run at all. Because while you're wearing it, you'll regain health every so often while you're walking. Herreteman visited the Ember Seed tree. JC's visiting it now to set up a warp point for later. Herreteman going straight up and into North Horon to move on to the next part. Both of the runners needed 10 rupees for Blano, which is a boxing penguin who took boxing gloves from a kangaroo that you need to box him to get back. Also, Herreteman getting sent seeds, useless seeds except for 1 boss fight, but otherwise completely unneeded in the run. Herreteman getting a good Blano, pushing him out fairly quickly. Blano can be very rough on you sometimes, so it's nice. Yep, now he's gonna go deliver the gloves to Ricky, the boxing kangaroo. There are other animal companions you can get in the game, but Ricky is the fastest to get. His animal area is the slowest to go through, though. Also, Ricky's very annoying because he can't decide what he wants to do half the time. Sometimes you'll come up to a pit and you'll be like, hey, let's jump. And he'll be like, okay. And then sometimes he'll decide, no, let's jump into the pit instead. And you'll be like, what? But yeah, Ricky's like that sometimes. Also, his jumping is kind of annoying and slow. But Ricky can jump over pits, cliffs, and punch. He's fairly unremarkable as an IMO. Now Herreteman's getting Pegasus seeds, and these are the Go Fast seeds, and they're way better than Pegasus boots because you don't have to worry about bonking, or going diagonal, or even staying still, and you can use it to, like, buffer a jump over a pit that's kind of hard. It's great. You can move fast. The only problem is they're consumable, but, you know, it's easy to route those out. So, Herreteman going down, grabbing the floodgate key, and going down into the basement cavern to get onto the other side of the flooded dam. Ooh, and low on health. But going to put the key in the keyhole and release the water. I've always been curious what Spool Swamp looks like when it's drained of water, and why anyone would drain Spool Swamp like that. Another curiosity. Oh, JC landing in the water at a bad spot. How does Mothula get her and all of her cronies into Poison's Moth's lair as quickly as she does in like 5 minutes? Switching the season to winter here because the runners need to defoliate a tree to get access to a cavern that has a jewel that will allow them to enter the area where Dungeon 6 is. Herreteman getting a very good jump on that cliff. Not going for jump punches, because Ricky's annoying like that. And going for the hearts. The nice thing about Ricky, though, is he can jump through snow piles, and he has bomb punches that can punch open bombable walls. Now, Herreteman's coming up to the next part, and it's kind of a little RNG. So, there's one of 4 places that the item that he's looking for can be. So he's gonna dig him those 4 pots, and we'll see. Getting first try, the God Gamer. First try star ore. So he's going to go to the market and trade it for a bow to give to a old friend of ours that we haven't seen for a little bit. She's been sad and sulking on the beach, waiting for someone to deliver her beloved bow back to her. It's Rosa, and she has a key. So, once we get the key back to Rosa, they're going to do a save and quit to get back to the market. Herreteman using a seed there, which normally doesn't happen. JC getting 3rd try star, or a little just disappointing because it's never fun getting 3rd or 4th try star, or. But since Herreteman used the seed coming out of the market, it means he's gonna probably skip one of the seed usages in Dungeon 3. But yeah, so going on a date with Rosa, and just tips for dates in general. When you're on a date, if you go through a rocky patch, always remember that summer fiery passion can get you through anything, which coincidentally is what they're getting, that summer fiery passion back into the rod. Doing a soft reset because it's very slow to walk back through the tower. And of course, no date would be complete without running to your destination and running back. They don't call it speed dating for nothing. But now since we used her key, Rosa has no more use, and we're just going to end the date, you know, perfectly amicably. There's no reason to believe that she won't want to go on another date with us. In fact, it's unbelievable how amazingly the date ends. We end the date leaving her on a screen with an actively erupting volcano. That is right. Tips for your dating woes. Always end a date by leaving your date next to an actively erupting volcano. 100% guarantee you will go back on the date the next time. Now, since he's got summer, Herreteman is going to go up and change the season to summer. And during summer, vines grow and lakes dry out, but they'll only use it to see vines grow. So he's going to change the season to winter, then summer, and climb up the vines. And welcome to Poison Moth Lair. Now, in the first room, you have spike beetles, and you might think, oh wait, they don't have a shield. Just use a shovel. Works just as well. Since he did not switch to Power Bracelet, I'm going to assume Herreteman is going to skip Hands Manip. So, like I said in Dungeon 1, Wall Masters spawn in the direction that you're walking, so you can use that to your advantage to manipulate them in this room, so that they won't spawn in your way, but it's rough and not generally fun, so some people skip it. I do it, other runners do it, but they mess it up and then have to fight the hands and add another menu, so it's just preference on whether you want to do it. It is a little bit faster to do Hands Manip. We'll see if JC wants to do it. Herreteman going for the nice hole crumble strat, where you push the roll pillar and the hole crumbles just as you're moving on to the next tile, so that you don't have to wait for it to crumble later. JC going for Hands Manip and not getting it. Ooh! Hands being very menacing towards JC. And Moldorm's being very not nice to Herreteman. But the hard hats are nice. Now Herreteman's going to stand in the doorway and slash his sword and move. Press the arrow key, the D-pad, so that he can move the mimics around without getting onto the quicksands and having them hurt him. Next comes one of the less fun parts of the dungeon, the basement. There are bats, there are holes, and precise movement. It is very not fun. We'll see if Herreteman decides to use Pegasus Seeds down here or not. He's not using it for this way, so we won't see the fast movement. Not that I really blame him, because that going the first way is not at all fun. Now there is a trampoline, and he has to move the trampoline onto a certain square to jump onto it to get a key. Who says bad guys can't have fun? They have trampolines in their workplace. Oh, and doing a save and quit. I haven't seen someone do that before. Interesting routing by Herreteman. JC going for the Pegasus Seed in the basement. Also, very brave, not equipping a sword. That would terrify me. Herreteman skipping the way back by just doing a save and quit. Herreteman, is he going to do Hands Manip? It looks like he's going to do it. Well, he gave up. Ooh! That scared me. That hand swung awfully close to him. I was worried for him. Yeah. Having the keys there is what scares me about not slashing those keys. So, now on to the mini-boss. Moi? I don't remember their name. They're squids. And so, they're going to kill them. They're deceptively not kid squids, or squid kids. And, well, it looks like those squids just couldn't stay fresh. Now, Herreteman coming up and going to grab the boss key. I forgot what it was called. Doing a soft reset to the beginning, because he's got the warp now, and he can just warp back close to the boss's room. And the boss of this dungeon is Mothula, one of 2 bosses in the game not taken from Zelda 1. Similar to Link to the Past, only no spikes and instead holes. If you fall down the hole, her health resets just like Moldorm in A Link to the Past though, so super fun times with her. Herreteman doing a very good job of killing her quickly. And going down to get the essence of nature, the bright sun. 3rd essence. Now we are rolling. I'm going to fill up on seeds here. Trying to do a quick little jump, but not working well for him. Now, the next area coming up is the Natsu area, and Natsu can be different depending on which animal companion you get. And since the runners both get Ricky, since Ricky's the fastest, it's going to be the Natsu Plains, with lots of cliffs and jumps. Herreteman getting hit by the Lake, common because the Lakes are mean and have very large hitboxes. You cannot call Ricky in that first screen, so you've got to make sure that you go up and call him from the upper part. Herreteman here will be looking for 2 seed drops, a Pegasus seed drop and a Sense seed drop. We'll see. Ooh, getting the Pegasus seed drop, that is nice. We'll see if the rest of the Natsu places, the Natsu Plains, is kind to him and gives him a Sense seed. The Sense seed is not nearly as important as the Pegasus seed, but it's nice to have for the boss of Dungeon 4. JC also getting hit by the Lake there just because the Lake was mean and decided to go where JC was landing. Lake's getting out of the way for Herreteman there. Very nice of them. There's Maple again. I'm gonna skip her this time. You will never see Maple again in the run. Now it's Sunken City time. Oh, JC not getting a jump punch. And this is why Ricky is bad, because Ricky can't decide what he wants to do for places like holes like that. Also, Herreteman only getting 1 Gale Seed, that kind of sucks. But once you visit that tree screen, you don't actually have to get the Gale Seeds. You just have to visit the screen with the 3rd essence. You trade all of your bombs to children to ride a red dinosaur. Always a smart idea. Trade bombs to the young children you can find in the city to ride a red dinosaur who can swim up waterfalls. I mean, yeah, it might be irresponsible, but on the other hand, you get to swim up waterfalls. Who doesn't want to do that? That's awesome. So here you're supposed to hit all 4 of those stones at once, which technically you do because you did not slash your sword multiple times, which is how the game apparently tracks that. Shoutouts to Dren for discovering that. Now, Herreteman's going to visit the Master Diver, and since he grabbed the Master Plaque, he will give him the Zora Flippers. And Herreteman will ride Dimitri one last time, and then unfortunately we're going to have to say goodbye to the best animal, Dimitri. I know, it's sad, it's heartbreaking. Bye, Dimitri. We love you. So now, coming up onto Mount Coco, Herreteman's going to discover that, well, not really discover, but know that he needs Spring. So he's going to go and get Spring. Some people might tell you that there is a better animal companion than Dimitri, but do not listen to them, because Dimitri is the best. And now we are at the most exciting part of the run, Hide and Seek. Amazing! You get the most powerful item in that game. That little green rock has the same damage value as the Master Sword, amazingly. And Hide and Seek is incredibly boring, so, we'll see what Herreteman does to make it more interesting. He's going to be digging a lot. Digging is perilous in this part, because if you dig too much, you might land yourself a fire pokey, and then you'll have to kill it. But Red and Blue are going around looking for Link, trying to see if they can find him. Red looking at that mushroom a lot, Blue going around the mushroom, passing by Link there, not seeing him out of the corner of his eye, because of course Subrosians don't have good peripheral vision because of that hood that blocks their side vision. Red and Blue taking different paths here, Blue going up top by the rocks and Red going down by the seashore. Make sure those pirates don't come and steal their treasure. Red and Blue taking similar paths, yet different again. Red doing most of the work, checking down by the seashore. Blue going straight up. Now Red and Blue are going around and making sure that no one's been following them. As you can see, they pay very much attention to their surroundings by looking at all the corners and totally not missing everything because they have those hoods obscuring their vision. And totally not noticing that the ground has been dug up. It's just always been there, apparently. Digging and burying the feather in the most conspicuous location possible. And digging up the feather, and then Herreteman will do a save and quit to get back to the beginning of Treasure Grove. And go through to get the Season of Spring. Now Link is such a good little trooper that he gives the Fool's Orb back to... Ooh! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh, JC! JC pulling that off miraculously. Luckily he has the heart ring, or else that would have been not fun at all. That is one of the reasons why you don't want to dig up too much, because you might land yourself a fire pokey, and they can just wreck you, and if they don't kill you, they'll push you into the field of vision of one of the Strange Brothers. Herreteman getting Spring here. What Spring does is it blooms flowers. Both rock flowers that you can now break with your sword in Spring, and the shooty-uppy flowers that shoot you up a cliff. I have no idea what they're actually called, but shooty-uppy flowers sounds cool. Now Herreteman coming over and grabbing this rock, important for later when heading to Dungeon 7. So now Herreteman will change it to Spring, which ostensibly is to break flowers and grab spring bananas. But we don't need to. He doesn't need to break flowers, because you can clip into the mushroom, and then you're clipped slightly into the rocks to grab the rooster through the rocks. Similar to Link's Awakening, there's wall clipping in Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages, but the only use that has ever been found for it is that clip right there, which saves a menu, and I don't even think it saves 5 seconds, maybe 5 seconds. Pounding with Moosh to clear a text box for later, and also Herreteman gets a bomb, which is important because the young whippersnappers in Sunken City stole all his bombs so he could ride Dimitri. He's going to go up the shooty-uppy flower to set a save point here for when he save and quits after getting the Dancing Dragon dungeon key. going back on Moosh, Moosh is a precious little deer. He can charge up a ground pound so that he busts things, and then he can also hover over pits, like you see him do there. And that is it for Moosh. No more Moosh. He is gone forever. Such a sad day. Such a cute little cuddly companion. Herreteman getting hit by the like again because likes just have very large hitboxes, and it's bad. Not that Herreteman is bad, but the likes are bad because they have too large of a hitbox. A nice spawn on the Moblin on the snow pile. Hopefully it doesn't spawn there again. Doubtful, and it doesn't. Now, going through this cave to go back and grab another flying rooster. Ooh, missing that jump by just not jumping in time. And flying to the other cliff to hit the... to get the keyhole and, part the water. Stop the water. And reveal the entrance to Dungeon 4, Dancing Dragon Dungeon. Oh, Moblin not very kind to Herreteman there. I wonder, yeah, he's gonna go grab those hearts. There are 3 hearts there. And it's helpful to get, especially if you don't have power rings. Now we're in Dancing Dragon Dungeon. It has some hopping music. Very exciting. And this is where I personally feel the run really starts to pick up. So, because Herreteman got bombs, he can skip that one chest where the first shrouded self-hosts were, and just go straight through. As you can see, Seasons has very complicated and tough puzzles, such as pushing pots onto buttons. Just giving you a taste of the music there, isn't it absolutely enthralling? Actually, all of the music in Seasons is great. Seasons music is great. So, after grabbing the key, Herreteman's going back to the minecart. And going to another part of the dungeon to get a second key. Hopefully, will the Zol stay out of Herreteman's way? Very nice. It prevents from having to do another menu to kill the Zol. JC also got the bomb, so he does not have to get the bomb chest either. We'll see if Herreteman... There is a quick strat here. Herreteman doesn't do it. Instead, opting for the slower but safer strat of not using Pegasus Seeds. Oof. Herreteman landing in the pit there. Not a fun time. After grabbing that key, he'll do a save and quit back to the beginning. This dungeon, more than any of the other dungeons, is just really rough. There are a lot of things that can eat your health quickly, and you don't have a lot of health to be able to tank hits like you would in other dungeons in the game. So it's kind of like just the worst. Dungeon 4 is the worst. It's fun, I like it, it's just the worst. We'll see if JC... No, JC also opts to not go for the quick strat. So... ideally, the likes would be close to the water there, so you could just slash them into the water and kill them, rather than having to do a bunch of slashes on them. shredding this shrouded Stalfos. Those 2 seed drops are guaranteed, so it's nice to have them right there. Coming up soon is the mini-boss of Dungeon 4. Oh! Oh wait, no, never mind. I thought JC messed up, but no. I thought he already did the puddle room. Basically, this boss is sort of like Aghanim, except easier. You light the torches to find which one has the shadow. Hit the one with the shadow underneath it. Both torches have to be lit, and you have to be hitting the one with the shadow to hit the true one. 3 spin slashes and a regular slash will kill him, and he's done. It's a very easy boss that is very sad when you mess up, because it's just like, oh man, that sucked. So now running to get the slingshot, the item of the dungeon. Pretty neat. Get to shoot some seeds. Not as cool as the seed shooter in ages though. Seed shooter, still the best. Interesting menuing. Oh, landing a lot on the spikes is rough, especially without the heart ring, because that just takes a lot of health down. So, lighting all those torches and then doing a save and quit. After torching them to get out from having to use the minecart again, because minecarts are very slow. So hopefully the bats don't mess up. Oh! Herreteman waited too long to shoot his Ember Seed and has to do this again and did not hit either of the switches on the way back, so hopefully he'll hit them on the way back again. Hopefully the bats don't mess with him. They don't! He makes it. It's grands. Those bats are not nice. And the bats in this next upcoming room are also not nice. The bat is in his way, so he's just opting to not go for the jump. Wise move, because those bats are mean and that jump is not fun. With bats in the way. Herreteman. Low on health. A worrying prospect with Goma coming up. Maybe he'll find some seeds. Ooh. Oh no, he's opting for a death to refill his hearts. Nice move. And switching to Gale Seeds here because the upcoming room has Wizrobes and they take a lot of hits to kill. So instead, you can just use Gale Seeds. JC going for the quick jump and getting it. Really nice on his part. Still getting hit by the like because again, likes are terrible. Not getting a 2-cycle on the Wizrobes. Feels bad, man. Killing them. Killing those gels for hearts. We'll see what he's gonna do here. It looks like... Oh, he's gonna go for the jump outright. Sometimes people buffer it, sometimes go for it outright, sometimes wait to get hit by a Wizrobe. Still not making it. He is going to go ahead and light the torches to make the bridge. It is a tight jump. Oh no! JC forgot to grab the key from the Ember Seed chest. So he has to go back, grab that key, and then go back to that room and do the wizardrobes all over again. That is an unfortunate time loss. Herreteman coming up now to Goma. Goma, there are two ways you can fight her. Both ways are equally fast, but one way is less RNG heavy. So basically what Herreteman's doing is he's shooting past her claw to hit her eye, and the idea is to hit her eye 15 times and she will die. Since he ran out of Sense Seeds, he's going to have to switch to Ember Seeds. Ooh, getting awfully close. Oh, and getting Goma. Nice. Moving on to the fourth essence, Soothing Rain. Nice time. JC not getting the jump. Ooh, rough times. And getting the jump. As you can see, it's a kind of hard jump. Now, after Dungeon 4, there is another jewel that you have to get. So, Herreteman's going down to get the Pyramid Jewel. JC getting unlucky with the side steps on Goma. So after Dungeon 4, Herreteman going and getting a refill on its Pegasus Seeds. A nice time. A smart move to do. Now, Herreteman moving down in the fourth part of Subrosia to get the fourth and final season. This is a really neat part of the run, I feel, because of all the cool jumps that can be done. Also landing in the lava is also a thing that happens a lot, because, you know, the game is hard. Jumping's hard. I feel that. I land in lava a lot too. Maybe Link just wants a nice dip in a hot spring, and that's it. Mineral water. That's what we'll go with. So, lifting up the rock to jump over the pits, and since he grabbed the bomb flower, Herreteman's going to go up and go talk to some smelter Subrosians who want some ore, and coincidentally, he wants to blow up those rocks, which are blocking the Tower of Autumn. Now Herreteman can go in and get the final season. In winter, snow piles up and ice forms. Summer, lakes dry out and vines grow. In spring, rocks turn to flowers and buds turn to flowers. What happens in autumn? Rocks turn to mushrooms and leaves pile up. I don't know why rock mushrooms turn into ripe mushrooms in autumn, other than, you know, things get ripe in autumn. But, you know, mushrooms being rocks, except in autumn, is just like real life. This game is very realistic. If you could not have told that so far, with dragons living in trees and giant crabs living behind waterfalls. So Herreteman's going to utilize this next season by changing it to autumn, lifting up some mushrooms, Mushrooms are weird because, unlike other things, you can only lift one mushroom up and have it despawn on a screen at a time, so Herreteman's going to throw it off the screen so you can lift the other one up right away. And now we're in Dungeon 5! I love this music. I love this dungeon. This is great. So there are like 3 steps to the dungeon. First step, getting the dungeon item. Second step, collecting keys. Third step, using the keys. The first step I count as different because you collect a key and use a key, so I like to count it as its own step. But the key dungeon item, that's exciting. I love this dungeon item, it's really cool. It's annoying though, because of the sound it makes. So, coming down here, ooh, still getting hit by a flame. So Herreteman's going to go through here. Hopefully this P-Hat is very annoying. Oh, the P-Hat being nice today! Wow, that P-Hat was so kind. That was nice. So, Herreteman getting the magnet gloves. Yes, this game has jumping and magnets. Obviously, Breath of the Wild is a port of Oracle of Seasons. You heard it here first, folks. Herreteman going to do some fancy jumps with the magnet gloves. Using that magnet block to jump around and make sure that he doesn't have to run around the whole platform again. Ooh, almost getting knocked into the pit, but avoiding it. Such a guy. Now, this next room can be very annoying depending on what the enemies decide to do. And this Moldorm decides to be not nice and go to the other side of the room while the other enemies are crowded on the other. So Herreteman has to remember which way which pattern he killed these Armos in. Because if you open them up in the wrong order, then they turn into anti-fairies, and you have to reset the room. But he got it, so he was able to get the key. Now, Herreteman going to the next part to collect more keys. And doing a different route. Opting for the Pegasus Seed and... well... that room was rough. That room can be rough depending on what the Iron Mask decide to do. It was... those Iron Masks are not nice. They could be nice, but they choose not to be. JC having a difficult time there, falling in the hole. That jump is a fairly rough jump, and it is sad when you fall into the hole. Herreteman killing the Dark Nut there, moving the block, and waiting for the Magnet Ball to spawn, so that he can save and quit to go back to the beginning of the dungeon to ride more minecarts! This dungeon is Minecarts the Dungeon, and it is fun, as you can tell. And now he's going to get the 4th key and move on to part 3 of the dungeon. I forgot my 3-part dungeon plan. Using up all the keys. The first key you use takes you to the mini-boss Steiger, which is a saber-toothed tiger with a red and blue tail. Ideally, Herreteman will choose 3-cycle here. Ooh, and Crimes to get a 3-cycle. Or, well, he missed that, so it'll be a 4-cycle. It's rough when things go like that. Will it be a 3-cycle? Oh. No, I think that was a 4-cycle. I'm forgetting my numbers now. I'm sorry. After killing Steiger, going up and skipping going through a terrible room by damage boosting. Here, you're supposed to use that Magna Ball there to block those flames. He just damage boosts through them because, you know, why not? Oh, not! And having to take the ladder down because, you know, sometimes you just land on the ladder at the wrong angle and you can't fall down. So now into the final stretch to go fight the boss, Dig Dagger, and a very not fun iteration of this boss, very random. The bats being kind to Herreteman in that room, they can really wreck you there. So with Dig Dagger, you hit him 4 times with the spike, and then you kill his mini versions. The spike ball is not fun to work with, and the mini versions go randomly all over the place. And Herreteman getting a 2-cycle here. Well, multiple cycles. I'm not gonna say he's got a 2-cycle yet, but I think he'll get a 2-cycle. And he got a 2-cycle. A nice 2-cycle. And then he gets the 5th essence, Nurturing Warmth. And then he will go and get the next... Ooh. 2 jewels that he needs. Grabbing Pegasus Seeds and then opting to go to Horn Village to get the Square-Shaped Jewel. Square-Shaped Jewel is rough. You equip Mystery Seeds because Mystery Seeds, you need them to unlock that, and they can do a random seed effect. And that Black Beast was very terrifying, as you can see. We were all shaking in our boots right there. Dig Dagger not being nice to JC here. Oh, yeah. No, not a nice Dig Dagger at all. Being very mean and jumping when he should just be staying still and taking the spike in his face. So, ooh, nice 1-cycle by JC. Herreteman going to grab the round jewel from the old man. The old man can be reached after completing Dungeon 5, but not Dungeon 4. And when you do that, he'll tell you, no, you have to get the essences. And so he requires both the 4 and 5 essences. Now, this is Tarm Ruins, the best part of the run. It's got the best music, it's just awesome. Look at that, listen to that music. It's great. Time Ruins is cool because it's where you get to test yourself with like all 4 seasons. And it really makes me wish that Seasons had implemented something like a outdoor type dungeon where you had to have a stump that changed the seasons and affected the environment inside the dungeon. Fortunately, nothing like that ever happens in the game, but it still would have been really cool to have. Fun fact about Seasons, there is a trading side quest. Another fun fact, the trading side quest is pointless because it gives you a phonograph to give to a Deku Scrub who tells you how to get to the level 2 sword. If you know how to get to the level 2 sword, you can skip it altogether. So, you walk left 4 times, going from the coldest season to the hottest season, and you reach a sacred grove where the noble sword is enshrined. And you can grab it. And that's the level 2 sword! Exciting. Now, Herreteman's going to take the path to get to Dungeon 6, which is from the coldest to hottest season. It's left, down, right, up. This music is really great. So, that shooty yuppie flower is a little deceiving, because you think, oh, I've got to go up the cliff. Yes, you do, but there is a statue blocking you, so you have to go the long way around to, walk up the snow pile to push a statue out of the way, to change it back to spring, to shoot up the cliff, to, actually get to Dungeon 4. Now, sometimes this Dark Knight here likes to get in your way, but stay it out of Herreteman's way because he's being a bro today. And then a mysterious hag appears. And she says, "Mwahaha, you can't stop what's been done. It's already happening. Mwahaha," and then disappears. And it's like, who is she? What are her plans? Why is she talking to me, and why have I not seen her yet? It confused me a lot when I played this game as a child. So this is Dungeon 6. I love this dungeon. It's my favorite dungeon. It's really luck-heavy, which is not a fun thing, but I love the sort of aesthetic of the dungeon. It's kind of Indiana Jones-ish with a bunch of traps and such. Switch to this. Ah. Okay. Sorry. Herreteman getting the key, and then doing a save and quit back from getting the key, and that is to save having to get a key further on in the dungeon on a different part of the spinny thing. And failing that jump is a tragic time, because that jump is really difficult and not at all fun. And he makes it the third time. Third time's the charm. Awesome times. I didn't even think about this, but I forgot that you could use Gale Seeds for the spikes. So, upcoming is an awesome item. It is the level 2 boomerang, and since Herreteman doesn't have the level room boomerang, it's a completely new item. It can kill Armos, which is why I love it. Also, it's a boomerang. As you hold the boomerang down, the boomerang button down, you can control it by pressing your directional pad into different directions. Not doing a save and quit here because it allows him to skip using a key on a key block. So, he can just fall down and move on to the later part of the dungeon. However, if he does a save and quit or dies, he will have to go all the way around to make sure that he does not. Because he won't be able to get through that key block again. Unless he goes to get the key, which just takes forever. In fact, I don't even know what the northern part of this dungeon looks like anymore. I haven't played it in so long. That's an example of how to use the boomerang. Basically just hurling it around a barrier so that you can hit a switch out of your way. Hitting both of those, all of those flames, and now coming in to the Indiana Jones room. Oh look, 200 rupees! Oh wait, it's just 1 rupee, and the room's crushing you. So you have to use the Pegasus Seeds and the Feather to jump over the traps and spikes to make sure that you're not crushed. If he gets crushed, you get sent back to the beginning of the dungeon. It's not hard to avoid with the Pegasus Seeds and Feather. I am not going to lie, I have been crushed there. It was a tragic time. Killing all 4 Stalfos to be able to push the block to open the room. Now, coming to grab a key, and he'll be coming up to the mini-boss Fire. A not fun mini-boss. Kind of a random mini-boss. So he takes 3 spin slashes, and there are 3 attacks that he can do. There's the charging, which is preferred because you can get a spin slash off easy on him. And we'll see. Then he does the circle attack. He just needs 1 more slash on him. Let's see if he gets it. Oh, nice! Getting the next, and then he splits up into 2 bats. So he has that circling attack that takes a while, but you can still hit him, and then a corner attack. Luckily, Herreteman did not get any of the corner attacks. A very nice fire, fairly nice fire overall. Now coming out, this is sort of just like the back half of the dungeon on the way to the final boss. A not fun time. This is a random room. You just keep hitting that button and hoping that you get it to open the stairs. But it's random which one it is. And it's just not being kind to Herreteman right now. I think that was like 5th try? Ooh, not a fun time. Ooh, giving me a minor shake in myself. I was worried he might get grabbed by the hand there. Now coming down and getting the trampoline to line up to hit a switch to unlock some stairs to go fight a cactus. And you thought the dragon unicorn was the weirdest boss in this game. There's a cactus. This is Manhandla. He has 4 heads that you have to hit with your magic boomerang. You can't jump because if you jump, then the boomerang will go over the heads. And over Manhandla. You can't use your sword because Manhandla will electrocute you. You see, like, Herreteman jumped when he shot the boomerang, it went over Manhandla. Again, the heads will only open for you and are only vulnerable when their mouths are open, and they'll only open when you're not on the side with the head. And you kind of want to hit all the heads, like, keep them all alive at around the same time, because Manhandla gets faster and faster the less heads he has on him. And Manhandla does like a metric ton of damage. It's just not a fun time. And the quicksand makes this fight just a nightmare. Ooh! And getting the last head, and hitting the crystal core of Manhandla. Easy fight. Easy fight. Also, the stairs were giving JC a rough time as well. JC also giving me a shake in my heart with the hand spawning right there. Now that you have gone through ruins, you have to make it across the sea, is what the Maku Tree tells you. So, obviously this means you go to Subrosia, and you talk to some pirates, who tell you to go to a desert to get a bell, so that you can cross the sea in the sand. Now, Herreteman did get the buffer out of the menu of able to clip the boomerang through the rocks, but missed the lever, so he had to shoot it around. Oh, JC just missing that head. He's a little too high up, and the head won't open with him on that side. And there we go. So now Herreteman's going to a pirate to talk to him. And he needs to enter a code. It's 2123. And it goes from the 3rd to the 2nd to the 1st to the 4th. And now he goes into the pirate ship to talk to the ghost of a skeleton pirate, to grab his head, to tell him where the captain's bell is. Now, like the star ore, the bell can be in one of 4 sand pits, so he's going to pick up the head and hope that it's the first one. So let's hope it's the first one. It is the first one! Herreteman gets first try bell. Amazing. First try star or first try bell. Blessed run. Now the head disappears because, of course, when you decide that it's time to move on to the afterlife, your entire skeletal body disappears. Landing here because if you go back with the rusty bell to the captain, he'll tell you, "Aye, that ain't my bell. Go get it shined up." So, Herreteman going to a smithy to get him to shine it up. Now, the smithy is pretty persnickety. Does not like the word please. Said he likes strong, forceful answers and requests. So, if y'all just want to type "do it" in all caps with an exclamation point, that'll get the smithy to shine up the bell. Do it. Yeah, see? If you say please, he's gonna be like, no, leave and come back. now that rock that they picked up earlier comes in play because you can just stay in Subrosia and not have to cut through the overworld to get back to the pirates. And that saves quite a bit of time. What try Bell? Not first try for JC. Not a fun time. Will it be second try? Not second try. Not a fun time. Not third try! Oh, JC's gotta go for fourth try, Bell! That's just not fun. And fourth try is the worst because you've gotta go all the way up there after checking the previous 3. But now the pirates are digging themselves out of the desert / Subrosian seaside, as you do. Now, of course, being proper pirates, skeleton pirates, that is, all the pirates get seasick. They don't have stomachs, and they get seasick. It happens, you know. And then the captain accosts them for getting seasick. How could they? They're pirates. And then he gets seasick, and then he's like, okay, let's land. And they just happen to park in a spot that creates a bridge to get to the graveyard. And this will bring us to Dungeon 7, where we start getting skips in the run. It's exciting. So, regularly you're supposed to turn the season to summer to climb up some vines, but you can just skip that. Herreteman not bothering with B7 manip. I don't blame him, it's an annoying manip. And Herreteman now in Dungeon 7. Dungeon 7 is rough. He's going to be doing a trick coming up here called post-skip. And because of that, if you die, you have to do it again. Or Herreteman not doing post-skip? No, he is. I was confused why he went down to grab the Ember Seats, but he is. Not making it. Oh, that sucks. He was just a little too far up to make the hit to the stairs. Basically what he's trying to do here is use his Pegasus Seed speed and going through the back way to hit these stairs as soon as right before the warp happens, and that will allow him to make it down to the bottom before he's warped away. This is not going to make it either. Well, third time's the charm. I believe in third try post-skip. And if not, he will have to do it the regular way. Which means you'll get to see the regular Dungeon 7. It's neat! Oh, yeah, he's getting warped back. So now you get to see Dungeon 7 regularly. So normally in a run you'd skip this, but unfortunately Herreteman ran out of Pegasus seeds, so he's got to go light these torches up. And this awakens this angry Poe sister, and she's like, "No, leave my tomb." And so you just spin slash her twice, and she's like, "Oh, okay, you can stay, I guess, for now." And she was sort of the one who placed the curse on the torches to have them go out, and when they all went out, you would get blown back to the beginning of the dungeon. That is going to be a time loss on Herreteman, because post-skip saves quite a bit of time, especially when it comes to getting a key later on. Oh, JC also missing post-skip the first time. Here, Herreteman's trying to find which Armos statue is dormant, getting unlucky with which one that is dormant. Ideally, you want it to be one of those two close to the button, but that's just luck of the draw right there. Oh, JC missing it again. That's a not fun time. Here, probably the most confusing puzzle in Seasons, honestly. You've got to line up the Armos so that they form a circle around the key drop. These jumps are not fun. Herreteman gets them right away because he is a boss at this game. Couldn't be me. These Magnes, Herreteman butchers with ease. They are very annoying. JC missing it again. Very sad. Oh, JC just going to opt to do it the regular way as well. So they're going to be about even when it comes to this then. Herreteman getting a nice second dormant Armos. Wait, he used the key and he's going to do it again? Okay. Herreteman coming... Oh, and there he gets it! But he used the key, so it negates any of the... most of the time save of post-skip. Here Herreteman's going to do a cool little swag jump there and fail the second jump. Here, if you buffer the jump, you can buffer it. Buffer it out of a menu to make the jump. Before this strat was found, shoutouts to Hope. Oof. You had to do a lot of annoying jumps around up top with those magnets up there. Ooh, Herreteman not doing well with this jump right here. It is a rough jump. Oh, JC getting wrecked by the pits. I feel that. I have been there. So now, coming up and Herreteman's going to line himself up on the very edge pit and then do a buffer jump to jump onto the other side of the platform right away without having to go up. And then getting the Rocks Cape. Awesome item. Amazing. Gives you a double jump. So now Herreteman's coming up to the mini-boss room, which is both Post Sisters at the same time. And like their rooms where they were blowing out the torches, if all the torches go out in that fight, you also get sent back to the beginning. Which is not as bad. Like, it's still bad because you're back at the beginning, but it's not as bad because you don't have to do post-skip again. Ooh, missing the button by just a hair. Never a fun time. But now both Post Sisters are here, so just sort of pretty much the idea is to try and camp at least one torch so that one stays on all the time. And Herreteman gets both of them and moves on to the next part, getting the boss key and then going to the boss. The boss, I would argue, is actually less annoying than the mini-bosses. Funnily enough. Ooh, JC getting that jump very nicely. And this is another part that post-skip skips because you get to keep a key from the beginning of the dungeon. You don't have to get this key from this part of the dungeon. So now Herreteman's going to go and deal with that. That is a not fun little puzzle. You have to hit them in the order that they have the amount of stones on them. Herreteman getting really nice stalfos and killing them all fairly quickly. And JC killing the mini-boss fairly easily. And since you beat the mini-boss, you have a warp so you can save and quit. Now on to the boss fight. Rather easy boss in my opinion. It's Gliak. There are two heads. They both have their own little health bar. You want to make sure that you kill them both roughly about the same time, because one head will start running around the room, and if the other head comes back and touches the body, it'll regrow itself and line itself back up with full health, and it's terrible. Herreteman coming and getting the 7th essence, the Seed of Life. And then we'll be moving on to Dungeon 8. which has the newest and hardest skip in the game. Interesting choice by JC to do and save and quit there. So, the Maku tree basically tells you, I don't know where to go. That's okay, they're speedrunners, they know where to go. They go to the one area of the map that they haven't been yet. It's the Temple Remains, where these Temple of Seasons used to be. Equipping the shovel and sword here because there are a lot of snow piles to dig up and a lot of shovel cancels to be had. Now, when you do this in a regular playthrough, you're supposed to turn it to fall to cover those pits up with leaves. Speedrunners don't need that, they can make the jump. And of course, important note, the one way to save the world: rain fire down from the heavens. Only proper way to be saving the world. So now, with the lands terraformed to be a lava hellscape, Herreteman can move about freely and actually get to the place where Dungeon 8 is. Ooh. Has to change it to summer to get the vines to grow. And now for some jumps. These are not fun jumps. As in, I fail them too much. Those bats are not nice. They're being very mean to Herreteman, and that isn't. Just making the way. Basically, what this game becomes when you get your Rockscape is, let's jump over things. As you can see right now, it's jumping over everything. And you come here, and it has this strange shrine to a subversion portal. And there's a very angry looking volcano, and you enter it, and it's covered in ice, because that's how volcanoes work, I guess. They have icy interiors. But for this dungeon, it used to be a very long dungeon. Then a new skip was found called HSS skip. It's the Hyper Slingshot skip that skips the dungeon item, the Hyper Slingshot. It is a double frame perfect subpixel dependent non-boost on ice. Which sounds very, very scary. And hard. It is hard. It is not as scary as I make it sound. But it is hard. Ice physics are not fun, so to keep the momentum, Herreteman's keeping his cape out and doing a safety save there in case he runs out of bombs or seeds. So Herreteman's going to go fall in the pit here, and then do that to set up his subpixels, which he had, but I guess he thought he didn't have. Nah, too late on the first jump. So there are a few ways to reset up your subpixels. If you don't jump, you can just walk all the way back to the wall. If you do jump, you have to hold down left until you hit the corner of that room. And again, too late on the first jump. It's really hard to buffer in this game too, so it's difficult to get the right frame. Unlike LEDX oracles, we do not have the nice frame-perfect buffering. I wish we did. That would make tricks like this a lot easier. Oh, JC messing up that jump. Not a fun time. Hope. Let's see if Herreteman gets it this time. Oh, missed a buffer. Sucks when that happens. Oh, oh, I think he got it. No! Oh, he was too late on the second jump. But he did get that first jump. I'm not sure what he was doing there. So since he jumped, he goes and resets his subpixel. What a subpixel is, it's like a value that... I don't know how to explain it. It's a value that tells you, like, what extra little pixel you're on or something. Oh, no, it's too late on the second one. Oh, it's gonna have to do a reset. And this is why HSS skip is hard. What HSS skips is the entire bottom half of the dungeon, the dungeon item as its namesake, and skips having you to drop an ice crystal in the latter half. See if JC... Oh, too late for JC on that one. Too late for Herreteman there. JC... Oh, too late. Now JC is going to reset up his subpixels by going down left. Too late for Herreteman on that one. That might make it. It did! Oh, JC making it as a clutch. Now JC is going to come over to this part of the dungeon and try and kill the bats with his magic boomerang and use his flute to kill the Pole's voices, because of course Pole's voices hate noise. And blindly attempting to hit the bat. I would... and we get it! Yay! Now, he gets the boss key there. HSS skip is really difficult. And it really sucks that it can make or break a run like this. Or race. Also a run. This is the Ghost Armos. You gotta follow his path. I think JC got the slowest pattern. Ooh, I think Herreteman got it. Yes! Herreteman got it too! Both runners passed HSS skip. Amazing. Making sure that they both hit the bridge in case they die. That way they don't have to do that skip again. So this second part of the dungeon is basically collecting crystals and dropping them in holes. Since the runners come in with 2 keys, they get to skip that hole on that screen right there. And ooh, I like that. JC just killed the blue Wizrobe. Always nice. That blue Wizrobe is the worst Wizrobe in the game. But you drop this magic ice crystal down and it freezes the lava. For some reason, the lava is in the bottom half and the ice is in the top half. Because, as we all know, heat sinks. JC coming and grabbing a few keys down here. Now, since JC went through and set up the minecart so that he can get the ice crystal to the hole up top, he's going to go drop that ice crystal in the hole and make his way to the boss. The only original boss in this game, Medusa Head. Interesting choice in seed there. But yeah, when this was found, it allowed us to skip an ice crystal and skip the bottom half of the dungeon. It was great. I loved it. JC going for the bombs, because you need them in Onyx's castle for Facade, that you actually have to fight this time. You can't just cheese, because he spawns immediately when you enter the room. Now, Medusa Head is an interesting boss. She shoots out a beam that stones you, and she shoots out lasers that hurt you. But yeah, that is an interesting strat by JC. I have not seen that before. Is JC going to go for the heart container? Oh, he is. So sad to see that. It breaks my heart. But JC getting the final essence, changing seasons. And moving on to make his way to fight Onyx and save Din. So, before you can save Din, he has to go talk to the Maku Tree and get a special gift. The essences of nature are powerful, but what you really need is the Maku Seed with the essences of nature to break through the barrier. As far as I know, interesting thing about this game. You only need the 8th essence to get the Maku Seed, and you need the Maku Seed to break through and fight Onyx. However, because of all the checks in the game required to get to the next dungeon, you can't actually just make it to Dungeon 8 early and get the 8th essence and then get the Maku Seed to get to Onyx. It's funny, Ages has the more robust essence checks, and yet it is more broken than Seasons. Herreteman now getting the changing seasons, and JC making his way up to fight his way to Onyx. We'll see if JC does this relatively new Onyx manip. And now, for the reveal y'all have been waiting for. Who was the mysterious hag? It's Twin Rova from Ocarina of Time. What are they doing here? The full story of these games are Onyx is stealing Din to ruin the seasons, to light the flame of destruction, and Varen steals Nehru and convinces Queen Ambi to build the tower, the Black Tower to the heavens, to light the flame of despair and not the flame of sorrow, and then they steal Zelda to sacrifice her to light the flame of despair to revive Ganon. And JC's doing the minute. He slashes for the high pitch slash, and he got it the first time. But he doesn't get it, but it's okay. As long as he doesn't get handsed. The manip makes it so that the enemies are in favorable positions and that the Facade fight gives you a favorable pattern. Facade opting for holes here. Holes are annoying because you can only get one hit off of him. Fighters are less annoying because you can get 2. What we really want is him to shoot fireballs out, which he's not doing because he's just feeling not very... I don't know. Oh, there we go. Finally. Now, on the way to fight Onyx. Onyx is one tough cookie, and he requires spin slashes to hit through his armor. Unless you have the red ring, or the Master Sword. So, his first 2 phases take 7 hits each. Well, 7 Noble Sword spin slashes. So, after hitting through the first phase, he brings Din down. And because Din electrocutes you, that costs you a heart. But when she electrocutes you, she pauses your hit, and then it treats it like the one hit does another hit, so you get to hit Onyx more quickly. And now we're on to the 3rd phase, Dragon Onyx. Cutely nicknamed Dronix. He takes 8 spin slashes to the gem on his head, and time will come up when the last hit is hit. That makes sense. JC trying for a Stunlock Dronix and not getting it. Ooh, is he gonna... Ooh, JC getting a sub 2. Nice time. I think that's a PB for him, so congrats to him on getting a PB. Ooh, Herreteman getting not a good RNG here. Those tornadoes are slow and they do a heart of damage each. now we'll see if Herreteman gets a good time with Dronix. Hopefully. Herreteman also going for the Sunlock. Oh, not getting the Claw Swipe. I was hoping he would. Instead he's getting Blue Flames. Oh, and now Fireballs. Oh, that's unfortunate. Hopefully he doesn't have the Heart Ring. He's making me nervous. No! Oh, Herreteman died! Oh, sucks. Oh. Oh, and Herreteman forfeited from the race. So... that's it for this run. JC the winner, Herreteman dying to Onyx and losing a lot of time to HSS skip. But...
ow.
Hi, JC.
Hi. I got my goal for the race.
And Herreteman does not want to join an interview, so...
oh no, what happened?
He died to Onyx and lost a lot of time to HSS skip.
Ouch.
Congrats on winning the race. How do you feel? How do you feel about the run?
Other than the shenanigans in Dungeon 7 and forgetting a key in Dungeon 4, I was fine with it.
Yeah, that was rough.
So I failed Poe skip twice, go try to fight Poe 1, then I hop off and save again in the second torch. Like, I started for a little bit, like, okay, do I just save and quit or just go for Poe skip anyways?
As you do.
So yeah, that was what, third try HSS skip for me?
Oh, nice. Yeah, it was pretty fast, honestly. I was very excited to see you get it.
I mean, I put a ton of practice on that alone this week.
Well, that's good. Did you expect to make it to the next round of the tournament? And are you excited to face off against whoever you're going to face off against?
Let's see, I think it's supposed to be a Rusty Bamboo. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, that'll be a nice run. A nice race between you and Bamboo.
Yep, I'll have some time to practice before we schedule that. Some more.
Yeah. Well, any final thoughts on the run or the race?
No, did I catch up at HSS skip or were we somewhere close?
You two he was fairly far ahead, and then you caught up at HSS skip. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, HSS skip.
I mean, I was telling Phenomenon, and it seems like with HSS skip, it could be close, it could not be. We'll find out.
Both of y'all did end up failing post skip enough that you had to get the keys, so there was no shift in time there, really.
Oh wow.
It happens. It's hard.
Yeah. I had some interesting orange yellow going. It was so hard for me to readjust to the new positions.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
But oh well, it happens. It's part of the run.
It is.
I mean, my goal was just finally get that sub 2 in, and I did.
Yep. And congratulations on your sub 2. Congratulations on the win. Congratulations on making it further into the tournament. I am excited to see your race with Bamboo next week.
Yep, that'll be a lot of fun.
Yep.
And It'll probably be on the weekend. Yeah, because this was a 1 a.m. start for Herreteman.
Oh yeah.
And he was perfect. He threw that out there. It's like, okay. But some people are just late on their own time zones.
Yep.
So.
Well, any final thoughts?
That's it. Thanks for dropping by, everyone.
Thanks for watching the season's tournament. There will be more wonderful runs later on in the week. It'll be great. So keep on watching and have fun. Thanks for watching.